What's up, everybody? Reacher is back, and for once, he's not the biggest man in town. Before we get into my review of the first 3 episodes of Season 3, make sure to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already so that you don't miss out on any news in between episodes. But enough from me, let's get into the premiere. Right off the bat, I knew it was going to be a good premiere, and it ended up being one, and it all started with this opening scene. At first, it appears like Reacher's moving up in the world, he's got a van, and he's got a record collection. Then, he stops the kidnapping, sticking true to who he is, until he shoots a cop. I mean, it's pure and utter chaos, and it's all capped off, the opening scene that is, with the introduction of Paulie, portrayed by the giant Olivier Richters. It just brought immediate tension, and then you're asking yourself, a million questions as saving some random kid in Maine has spiraled out of control for Reacher, but there's an incredible moment between Reacher and the father of the kid he saved, Zachary Beck, that was, well, so Reacher. Beck is rightfully suspicious about Reacher, and Reacher knows it. So he grabs the glass he offered him earlier and leaves him some fingerprints to run, but when he's walking out of the room, he throws that subtle jab based on what Richard, Beck's kid, told him after the attempted kidnapping. It was just a badass Reacher moment, and he didn't even throw any hands. That was just the start of it though, because what comes next is batshit insane. Beck forces Reacher to do Russian roulette to prove he has balls, and let's just say Reacher goes a little overboard. It gets him the job though, and he's out of his element, which is fascinating to watch, but it was all part of the plan, and this was one of the craziest blend your brain openings ever. He's working with the DEA, and it does make, the opening scene a bit less insane, like holy shit insane, but I liked it more after learning this. Same goes for the Russian roulette, because he had his mark on the revolver, and he knew where the bullet was. This was an incredibly strong start to the season, and they found a way to craft an intriguing setup to keep you interested while Alan Richson does his thing. Moving on to episode 2, I didn't think this was quite as good as the first episode of the new season, but it was still good. One of the few things that dragged it down was the DEA's side of the story, so it's a good thing that Reacher has giant shoulders because Alan Richson carried the load through these episodes. But I did like the flashback with them prepping the opening scene of the season, and I guess that did come towards the end of episode 1, but still, it's not like this side of the story's terrible. I just don't think they cast as well for the side characters this season, so it's noticeably weaker than the previous 2 seasons, that's all. Anyway, we've got Paulie and Reacher butting heads to look forward to, and I can't wait. The bickering between Olivier Richters and Alan Richson is so good. I also can't wait to see Reacher work around fighting someone bigger than him for a change, as we already saw him grab a weight as a knuckle duster when he and Paulie squared off in the gym. One thing's for sure, he's scared because he's not getting anyone else involved this time around, at least not right now. He calls his old friend Neely and keeps her as far in the dark as he can while still getting the information he needs, and it's even further than he would normally keep a person out. This one phone call really helped keep the stakes up as the episode was a tad bit slow after that electric first episode. But episode 2 did find its footing and finish strong, with Reacher taking out Angel Doll, which, as cool as it was on its own, it's even cooler when you remember he hides bodies the same way, snapping their legs in season 1. Like I said, I didn't think it was as strong as episode 1, but it didn't lose me on the overall story of the season. The end of the episode also kind of forces things to get going in the story, so I doubt we'll have any slow episodes moving forward. Alright, last episode here, episode 3, and this was a big step back in the right direction, carrying that momentum from the end of episode 2. I feel like we haven't seen Reacher this on edge, maybe ever, in the first 2 seasons. Like, yeah, he got nervous when Dixon and O'Donnell were taken in season 2, but he's really on edge here, and Alan Richson's performance has been great. Reacher's even got Neely worried about him, which is just as rare as him being on edge. I love that that's how they're using her so far in this season, and it feels like as Reacher gets deeper and deeper into this, the odds of her making that journey to Maine continue to grow. Richson also channeled his Smallville days as Reacher goes for a swim to clean up the Angel Doll mess, which as a big nerd, it was fun to see that even if it wasn't a direct reference to his Aquaman days, but the stuff that follows at the warehouse actually changed my opinion on at least one of the new supporting characters, Duffy. She and Reacher are another solid duo, maybe not as strong as Reacher and Roscoe were, or my favorite, Reacher and Dixon, but it's growing on me. Anyway, one side of the story that really caught my attention in this episode was Reacher and Richard's trip to town, mostly because he's giving us bits of info on what's really going down in his father's business and this op that Reacher's on, but it definitely helped having that dope fight where Reacher snaps some bones. One of those things we found out was that the Beck family isn't even in charge anymore. It's this McCabe guy, and all of the security was actually his. And speaking of his security, Reacher's moving up the ranks as he takes out Beck's number two and blows the evidence to bits. That was a really strong premiere. Overall, the DEA solo moments where Reacher's not there need to get better moving forward in the show, but that's my only complaint. Reacher's side has been incredible. Reacher and Duffy are growing on me big time, like I said, and even Billy, the senior DEA agent, is growing on me too. But that's going to do it for my review of the Reacher Season 3 premiere. The mystery is a hook for me this season, and I'm anxious to see what has Reacher and Neely too so damn scared. Let me know what you thought of the first 3 episodes of Season 3 though down in the comments below, and make sure you have a great day.